Hi everyone, my name is Dee. This video is going to be all about armor sets that you can create or collect within Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to kind of talk through what the best process is to get yourself an armor set, where you can look out for them, how you collect them, generally what kind of armor set you want to use for your character, and just hopefully give you some advice and some good overview on what the armor sets are. So, if you do find this useful, please give it a like. It's massively important to my channel that I get some good feedback. Even if it's bad feedback and you don't like something, please just tell me. Yeah, it is all good for me. And I want to say a massive thank you for everybody who does like, subscribe. Really appreciate that so much. Now, what are armor sets? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the creation of armor sets. So if you look in your world, I'm sure you've probably found some already, and I'll go over this quite quickly because they are dotted around, but you get these things. You see them on the map. They've kind of got a mallet with what looks like a nail with some flames coming out of it. Don't know why. If you look on the legend, you can see on the right hand side under other, sort of middle to the right, you've got crafting set. You've probably already come across these, but you're not quite sure what to do with them, or maybe you just want some advice on how they work. I am here in this really cool place at the bottom of this mountain, and here I am. This is one of the best armor sets if you're a melee character, and obviously I'm in Dayshan here, sorry, Stone Falls, and yeah, it's just there, just kind of off the beaten track a little bit, but it's really good. So within each of these crafting areas you have clothing, woodworking and blacksmith. So everyone that I've found so far always has these three tables. So in a way, it's, if you want to do some deconstruction, some crafting, it's a really good place to come because you've got less journey time, less running between buildings if you were in a city. So it's quite a good place to craft anyway. But what you'll find is that it has a clothing station and then has the name of the armor set underneath it. In this case, Ashen Grip. So if I use, and you can do all the same things. You can refine, do all your sort of stuff. Oh, I've got some cotton. Let's refine that. Thanks very much. Got embroidery. Excellent. You can create as per normal. You can deconstruct, improve as you normally would, and obviously research. And I'll come on to these in a minute. As you can see, I have saved up quite a few bits of kit just to show you some various different armor sets that are out there in the Tamriel world. But how do you create it firstly? As normal, I mean, clothing is a little bit easier, but if I go on to something like the blacksmithing and go creation, this time instead of having weapons and apparel, you've now got two additional ones. You've got set weapons and set apparel. Now this means I can start to create these good things. Now it says two traits. What does two traits mean? It means that you have to have had research two traits of that particular type, and it follows the same process. If you haven't seen how crafting works in general, please go and have a look at my channel. There's loads of videos about clothing, blacksmithing and woodworking, crafting, and how they all fit together. But it's the same principle. You choose whichever material you want. So you can do this with iron, you can do this with steel, you can do this with quicksilver, with voidsmith. It really doesn't matter. So you can create a set of armor or set of weapons for yourself right from the start, right from level 1, with basically nothing. Now you do the same things you normally do. Is choose your style, whichever one you've unlocked or whichever one your character has as default. You can add traits onto them, whatever ones you've researched, and off you go. Now you'll see that these are all still red because I haven't researched a trait. The only one I have done is dagger. Now why is that one unlocked? And you can see as it's there, I can create it a precise, an infused, a sharpened. There's loads of stuff going on. Why are they on? Why is that particular one unlocked and the rest red? It relates to how much research, how many traits. And as you can see there, if I go into research, above where it says curious, it says traits line and the traits progress. So you unlock traits, which are the ability to add gems onto your armor and your weapons. And I'll show you my dagger, which is one I've done the most of. You can see here I've unlocked 3 traits of this particular thing. Now, when I go to create, that doesn't mean if I go back over to dagger, that because I've got 2 traits and the fact that I have to have 2 traits in order to create a dagger of Ashen Grip, it doesn't mean that I need to have 2 of these as well. It just means that I can create part of the Ashen Grip set. I can still add an infused onto it if I wanted to. Boom, I've just done that. So I've still created in my inventory. And if I look at what I've just created, that dagger, you can see there, infused with weapon enchantment of 8%. Happy times. I've also got one similar that I've already created, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But as you can see, it's a standard dagger, and that's great. So I can still come back to this dagger, still improve it, and if I find Monsieur Dagger, oh, I'm in the wrong one. There he is. So I can still add my homing stones, improve it from normal to fine, superior to epic to legendary. So it works in exactly the same way, but all I'm doing is creating part of the set. Now, why is that good? Why do I want part of the set? Because, and if I look at, say, my chest and go up to my Cuirass of Ashen Grip, you can see I've managed to equip or created 5 items of the Ashen Grip set. They're all normal, but by having an Ashen Grip set, I've got an extra 371 health, an extra 64 weapon damage, an extra 240 weapon critical, and an extra bonus option that I get 10% chance to breathe fire for 403 flame damage on melee hits every 4 seconds. And I'll try and splice in how that looks like now and kind of carry on talking, and there it goes, and oof, I'm just narrating this freestyle, so there you go. So in my research, and I'll show you my research tree, it's so important to unlock as much research, and you can do this, you can mix and match it all up, it doesn't have to be one part of whatever. So I can come and research daggers, so I've done 3 sets of the daggers. Within apparel, I've got the cuirass is unlocked at 2. I haven't done any of the boots, the sabatons. I've done 1 gauntlet, no helms, as you can see, but girdle I've done 2. So because I've done the girdle, because I've done the cuirass, the chest armour, that means when I go to apparel, look, I can create the Ashen Grip cuirass, I can create the shoulders, and I can create the belt. However, because I've got the clothing as well, I've unlocked various things of that, and I'll show you what I've unlocked. I've unlocked quite a lot of this. So I've got 2 in the robe, 1 in shoes, 3 in gloves, 1, that's 3. So I've unlocked, but that means I can still create the boots, the helmet, the whatevers, and add those onto my character. And that becomes one of the part of the set. So I've mixed and matched this up because I have some heavy armor that's unlocked, some medium armor that's unlocked, and some light armor that's unlocked. But adding it all together gives me this epic Ashen Grip set, which is awesome. So you can see I've got heavy armor for the chest. I'll come on to Night Silence in a minute. I've got hands with light, legs with medium, boots I haven't actually even added anything onto yet, and neither have I with the head. I have, and it acts because I've got 2 daggers, they both count as 1 each. How cool is that? So I've then got 2 parts of the Ashen Grip set, giving me that. And as I showed you earlier, what you can also do, because you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots, what you can quite easily do is I've got 5 out of 5, that gives you another 4 slots to use. So what I'm also adding is Night Silence, so you can add maximum stamina of 348, add another stamina recovery, add weapon critical, and that's what I want to get to, 248 weapon critical. Wallet. I'm not worried about sneaking, I don't sneak with this guy, I'm a damage over time beast. And yeah, so if I can get my weapon critical up, that'd be amazing, plus boost up my stamina, and this guy's all about just general ruckage, and so stamina is needed. So once I've researched them, I'll go to the Night Silence set. There is a different armor set place for that, and I'm going to create and add that to him as well. That means my guy has these bonuses coming off his yin yang. He's like all over the place when it comes to bonuses. He's breathing fire, he's got bonuses, his weapon crit, his stamina, his health, all from that. Plus, if I want to, I can just, as I've done with the enchanting, quite easily come along and add an enchantment to this Ashen Grip set as well, and then I can refine them on top of that. You could just make, if you, and unfortunately it does use up, and this is probably a little tip, when you create a weapon set like this or an armor set, it's going to use a lot of your materials that I find. If you're going to build it at the highest level that you can possibly can, you only want to do it once in a while, because you don't have enough raw material to continually keep building up these different armor sets every time you get up every 2 levels. And refining and all that sort of stuff, it just takes ages. So do it once in a while, get to a certain point when you've got enough material, and just hammer everything out at that level and make it OP, so you can build up your stockpile of all your resources before you have to do it again. What other tips have I got? In terms of researching, you can see researching takes absolutely yonks. That's 22 hours and 48 minutes. And if you imagine, if you want a full set of everything unlocked against each of these items, it's going to take months. So I'd always do the one, if you haven't done any in a particular skill line, do that one first, because that's only going to take 6 hours. It's the second one that takes 12, the third one takes 24, so on and so forth. I think the furthest one I've got there is 2 days. So how do you improve that? There is skills in each of your, here we go, come on, each of your crafting. My clothing's the highest, but you can see this one, that one. Stitching, in this particular case in clothing, reduces research times by 5%. 5%'s okay, it's not great. It is potentially hours when it comes to 24 hours, but more importantly, it allows to research 2 items at once. So, and you can do this, it's the same on the clothing and the woodworking. You can do so 2 at once. You can see I'm researching 0 of 2 there, and that's brilliant. So you can get 2 going at once. What they call refining materials as well. So blacksmithing is definitely the easiest. When we look at woodworking, it's only the wood. You're only going to collect the beech, the maple, the oaks, and that's all it goes into, is either making shields or staffs or bows. So it's actually creating 3 elements of things, but you only get it from one place. So it actually becomes really hard. And the same with clothing. You don't. That's even the hardest, because there's no weapons you pick up, there's no bows or shields that you can pick up that you can deconstruct to make clothing materials. You have to pick it all up from light and medium armor. So I find this one takes the longest. So my recommendation to you then, if you want to do as much research as possible, smack it in blacksmithing. That gives you amazing weapons, but balance it out. So you don't have to, you can do them all individually. There's no, obviously you can do 1 on that one, 1 on that one, 1 on that one, or 2 on each if you've unlocked it, and off you go. As you can see, I've not done any shield, because I just deconstruct it so I can get the raw materials. My character doesn't use a shield. I don't care about shields for this guy, so I'm not going to research anything. I'm going to use all my researching for staffs. He does use a staff occasionally, and as you can see, for the Inferno staff, I've unlocked stacks of it. If we look at this, I've already showed you this, but I'm going to concentrate and put as much elements through this as well as I can. My next tip is each of these, some of these you'll use, like well fitted, reduce the cost of sprinting slightly is okay, it's not great. Generally you don't sprint between combat to combat. It might be good for PvP, but it's not really that useful. Infused is not really that useful. Divines, I don't think it's very useful, increases your Munderstone effects, but spell resistance is amazing for some characters who don't have an innate spell resistance skill line. Exploration is okay. Training, when you're low level, is awesome. You can increase the amount you train up on a particular item by like 80-90%. Awesome. Armor value, awesome. critical hits, resistance to that, awesome. So just wait out, and you can almost, as you can see here, I've stockpiled up equipment that I want to research. You can put it in the bank, you can do whatever, but just keep in mind, and if you find something you really want to research early, get it done. It's really helpful. The other thing I'll say is that for Ashen's Grip, you only need 2 trait lines. There are other traits out there which need 3, 4, up to 8, I believe. So keep in mind that you should always be researching. It doesn't matter that you're destroying and you have to destroy a piece of armor or sword or whatever, or weapon in order to achieve the research. It's really very little price to pay for what you can achieve in the future. And what can you achieve in the future? That really leads me nicely onto. So let's have a look at things I've picked up. So that's the other thing. Like, I think crafting is the easiest way to do it, without a doubt, because you can build up your character. You can then add, as I've done here, into Night Silence, and keep adding and adding, and maybe changing up and swapping around various elements of it to give you the best armor set. But you should always be looking out for these armor sets. If we look at some of the stuff that I've picked up, and I've picked this up just to kind of show you different cool things that you can get. This Helm of Rage, if you look at it, that is awesome. Oh, look how he looks. I love it. It's like straight out of, I don't know what, Mad Max maybe? No, not Mad Max. Anyway, he's looking pretty awesome. So this is a Helm of Rage, and it's something I just picked up off just a character I killed. I don't think it was any special character, just a standard character. But it's Armour Set of Rage. Look at this. Look at it. What it gives you. 66 weapon damage. Come on, why are you moving up and down? 66 weapon damage, 697 physical resistance, 248 weapon criticals, and then finally Berserker, 10% chance to increase your weapon damage by 132 for 5 seconds. If you're a tanky melee kind of guy, it's freaking awesome. However, Hood of the Healer adds 371 maximum magicka, which is pretty damn good. 49 magical recovery, it's alright. 70 spell damage, it's okay for a healer. But Healer's Habit, if you manage to get all 5, increases healing done by 8%. You're healing like a bad boy. This one, Helm of the Red Mountain. So this is a bit more melee style. So you've got 76 weapon damage, 76 spell damage, 288 weapon critical. Coat of the Red Mountain, weapon attacks have a 10% chance to cause 684 flame damage. If you're a Templar, I think that would be awesome. You're just generally buffing up everything. You're just an absolute damage destruction mother. What else have I picked up? Which is I've kept all of these just to show you various different ones. Chorus of Death's Wind. This is okay for tanking. You can create this one. So it's 630 physical resistance, 346 max health, 346 max health, and then if struck by a melee attack while below 35% health, nearby enemies are knocked back and stunned for 4 seconds. It's tanking awesomeness. Although, well, it happens every 4 seconds, but the stun for 4 seconds, but only happens once every 30 seconds. So it's like a get out of jail card. Pretty awesome if you ask me, if you're a tank. Shrouded Armour, I see loads of the Shrouded Armour. Adds 33 stamina, 33 magicka, 272 maximum health. Pretty good for a kind of Templar who needs all of the characters. Blood Frenzy recovers 1,760 health when acting ultimate ability. That's a lot of health regen. Shoulders. Shoulder Cops of Viper. Adds 224 weapon critical, 315 max stamina, 224 weapon critical. Melee attacks deal 420 poison damage. If you're a Nightblade, oh, you want that. That is insane. They're so good. And I've showed you Night Silence. We've got Ice Furnace Gauntlets. Adds 348 maximum magicka, 248 spell crit, 66 weapon damage, frostfire, 50% chance of damaging target with frost to deal 181 flame damage. What? How does that work? You damage them with frost, but you deal flame damage. Okay. So that one's pretty good for spell magey type guy. I think that's it. Have I got some on legs? I've got Breaches the Healer, so that's the same one, but I've got 2 parts of that, so I can get myself extra 371 max magic if I want to add that in. No more. Any featings? No featings. You do get them with weapons. I don't think I've got any weapons. Let me just double check for you guys. No. But I've nicked that shield. So yeah. All of those items I've just shown you, like the Helm of Rage, I found that in a chest. This I've just picked up off some character I've killed. That one I picked up off some character on a chest. They're all, I guess you could farm them, and that's if you find like a weapon set like that Viper. If I was a Nightblade, this one, I would then just start killing everything I possibly could in that area for about 5 hours probably. I don't know how long it would take, I don't know how frequently they drop, but they drop at your level, and I think that's the only unfortunate thing, that this is level 23, I'm now 30, it's not as good as my other stuff that I've got, so I'm not really going to use it. However, if you want to just farm some NPCs for a bit, not NPCs, but if you just want to farm some other dudes for a while, then you're going to get yourself an amazing armor set. Yes, you can then, improve it. You can take it to any, well, the appropriate one, not any, but if it's medium armor, go to improvement in the clothing skill line. If you've got enough refinement, off you go. It'd be amazing, and you can keep that armor set for a long time, and you'll power level through, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully you guys have found that useful. My top tips are definitely get your research done, get 2 on every single thing that you can as early as possible, put some skill points in there, collect up your materials, come here, find them. They are dotted around all over the map. I can only show you, unfortunately, in this particular character, these elements over here, but that is not that one. Where is it? It's over here. This one, the Berisian Mine, that one gives you an amazing sorcerer armor set. There's another one there. They're all over the shop. There's loads of them. Look out for them. Take note of which ones you want to use, what your character should be good at. If you find an amazing armor set, if you've got 2 pieces of it, great, because you can use them in different elements of your particular character. Anyway, hope you guys found that useful. Please give us a like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Tell me about some amazing armor sets that you found you've used. I'd love to hear about some crazy wackiness that happens. I'm certainly going to keep exploring and keep unlocking stuff, which I'm going to do right now. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, as I said. But otherwise, take care now.